Would you prefer I go up there?
Yeah. I think that, I'm sorry, Randy. I'm sorry. There's a microphone there, Randy. All right. All right. Randy, you'll have 2 minutes to tell about yourself. And then each of the questions, you'll have 1 minute to answer. And at the very end, you'll have 1.5 minutes to, you know, any final remarks and everything. All right. Do you have any questions on that, Randy?
This isn't on.
They're supposed to all be on. Okay. Thank you.
I just got promoted to superintendent. Well, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much to the Carrollton Tea Party. This is a great service to our community. As a taxpayer and resident of the community, I appreciate getting to know about our candidates and getting to hear them. You've heard I'm Randy Schackmann. I am candidate for actually the seat right down there that says Karen Webb. She has chosen not to run again, so it is an open seat, and you've heard that I have one opponent. I think the thing that you'll learn about me tonight is I bring an unbelievable amount of experience in board management and in finance and in dealing with budgets to this race. For 25 years, I have been providing services to nonprofit organizations, helping them to balance their budgets, helping them to deal with budget crisis, and helping them to handle the important budget and board issues that they deal with daily. I've been a part of this district for a lot of years. I haven't been here as long as Mr. Mathews, but I have been here a significant portion of time, and I've been involved in schools since my earliest years. My mom taught for 32 years. My wife teaches in the district. I have a son who's a 9th grader at R.L. Turner, a son who graduated from Turner last year, and I have skin in the game right now. That's important. And this is an important election. And I'm going to ask you tonight for your votes, but as you hear my answers to questions, I hope that I will earn your votes, because I believe we've got to accomplish good things. We have good schools, we have great teachers, we have terrific students, but it's going to take some very specific experienced direction to help propel this district on to future greatness. And I'm Randy Schackmann, and I want your vote to help make that happen.
Okay, the first question is, do you support a state board of education elected by the voters, or do you think the SBOE should be appointed by a commission, board, or agency of educators?
State Board of Education is an interesting position. The two primary tasks that they are involved with that affect us, there are a number, but the two biggies for them is that they actually approve the curriculum that is the overarching umbrella for all curriculum in districts, and then they oversee the Texas Education Administration. There are pros and cons on both sides of the issues, but when it comes down push to shove, I'm a conservative at heart that thinks people need to have a say, and we, the people, deserve a right to choose. And so, in all fairness, I would like for us to continue to elect our officials.
Mr. Schackmann, what role does technology have for the future of our students, in your opinion, and how will parents have access to online curriculum?
That's a great question. How will technology be in the future? I wish I could tell you, because if I knew the answer to that, I'd make $1 million. Technology is changing so fast every day. The importance of technology cannot be underestimated, but must always be balanced with the overarching needs of budget and finance within our schools. CFB has done a great job of making technology available, and we do it in a lot of ways. We have all sorts of resources, from technology to those who have disabilities and special needs, right up through the advanced GATE and LEAP programs, all the way through our district. How will adults and parents have access to online curriculum? Probably a better question is also to add to that, how will the parents have it, and how will students have access to online classes and individualized instruction in the future? We are continuing to press out there.
At the February 16, 2012 CFBISD work study, a tax ratification election was discussed. School board members Lynn Chafin, Nancy Klein, and Nancy Watton all indicated that the public needs to be educated on the CFBISD budget deficits. Both Ms. Klein and Ms. Watton indicated that they felt that 2012 was not the year for a tax ratification election, but possibly 2013 might work. Would you be in favor of a tax ratification election for the Carrollton-Farmers Branch taxpayers? I
happen to be at that work study, and I have been spending hours and hours and hours working on the district budget this year. And I'm happy to tell you we do not need a tax increase this year, and I don't think we will need one in 2013. We do have to balance our budget. It is high time we balance our budget. We haven't had a balanced budget in years. We have a projected $9.5 million deficit. The good news is we'll spend less than that, but we've got too much spending taking place, and we can make significant cuts. Outsourcing, test reduction, substitute teacher costs, annual curriculum writing expenses, and administrative overhead are just 5 areas where there is the potential for up to $20 million in budget savings. We can balance our budget. We can have a budget surplus. It is possible, it's doable, and I bring the experience from helping organizations all over the country to solve these kinds of issues.
I believe you just answered the next question.
I'm good.
This will take my law. How should budget shortfalls be solved without affecting the classroom?
The whole theme for my campaign is classrooms first. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We have good schools. And talking to others and studying other districts, we have an excellent district, but we've got to get our finances under control. This right here is a chart that will show you that we have the same number of students we had in 2006. See where it goes red out here? We have 5% less teachers and we have 6% less aides. We have 40% more middle management administration. $67,000 a year before we bring in benefits. We have not done an effective job of keeping the budget in balance, and we can and we will. And there are ways that we can maintain all of our classroom teachers, we can keep our current class sizes the way they are, and we can support quality education, dynamic education, innovative education in this district, and do it with still living within our means.
Do you support a school board policy allowing parents the right to inspect and review instructional materials, methods, and content of curriculum?
Absolutely. Parents are partners in education. Parents are our bosses in education because they're the taxpayers and constituents in the district. Parents need to have access and should have access, and I would support anything that helps to bridge more work between parents and the district. We always want to make curriculum and all parts of our district very open and very transparent. The more transparent and open it is, the more effective it is.
At the February 16, 2012 CFBISD work study, it was estimated that by the next school year, 2012-2013, there's expected to be an $11,900,000 deficit for the ISD. Superintendent Dr. Burns asked the school board members the question, what's your number? Meaning, what level of deficit could the board members tolerate before it became absolutely unacceptable? Most of the board members stated that the highest deficit they could accept was between $6 and $11 million. If you were to be elected to the school board, what's your number?
0. We got to balance our budget. That number, by the way, was not based on, and I was there and watched them and heard them, and they were not basing that on a number of millions. They were actually basing that number based on our rainy day fund. The amount of money we have set aside right now, about $90 million, and how many days of operational expense, and they said their absolute bottom line comfort level would have been about 75 days worth of operational expense in that rainy day fund, which is where they came up with that number. It's a tough, challenging job. I've helped organizations to do it and can help our schools to balance our budget. And if we will live within our means, we can make that happen. And I want that to happen because I want this place to be here. At that same budget work study, Mark Hyatt, who is our finance guy, said that in 2018, we will be bankrupt if nothing changes. Now, we will make the changes we need, but we've got to make changes.
Name your top 2 priorities for the schools and how do you plan to implement them?
I only get 2, huh? Okay. The number 1 priority I would like to bring to our school district is to do a more effective job supporting teachers to stay in their classrooms. We take our teachers out of our classrooms far too often for training. I want well-qualified, good trained, my mom was an English teacher, that wasn't grammatically right, well-trained teachers in our classes. But my son's English teacher was taken out of his classroom 27 days last year for training. This is a woman with credentials. This is a woman who is an amazing teacher. And my son's school year was shortened 5 weeks. We then take kids out of classes another 5 weeks a year to do testing. Can't happen. If we want good education, we need to make sure that our teachers, who are terrific folks, are working with our students. Don't make them have 7-month years because we're not keeping people in class. That was 1. What was my second one?
That's all right. Do your number 2.
Would you be in favor of asking for a voluntary give back by the administrators making over $100,000 per year if it would save teachers' jobs?
Absolutely. We have about 50 to 60 positions in our district that are making in excess of $90,000 plus benefits on top of that. I would love to discuss with fellow board members the idea of not paying anyone in our district more than twice the average salary of a teacher. Why should they be making that much when the work's being done in our classrooms? I don't know if that's 100% feasible, but the point is we've got to support teachers. Last time I checked, our school district's business was training and educating students. We need to focus in the classrooms. We've got to put classrooms first.
In the last 50 years, education costs have more than quadrupled while student scores have plummeted. In fact, statistics from the College Board show that average SAT English scores in 1970 were 540, and by 2006, that average was 489. The Department of Education is using taxpayer money on programs that have proven to be inefficient while hampering the ability of states to reform education at local levels. What is your view on what should be done with the Department of Education? Do you believe it should be kept and its powers reined in, or do you believe it should be abolished?
That's really not a CFB question, but